Trip out on this. Magic mushrooms have been decriminalized in 2 major U.S. cities. Is this the first step toward making shrooms legal in America? Have a look. First Denver, now Oakland has become the second U.S. city to decriminalize magic mushrooms. This naturally occurring fungus has been used for thousands of years among indigenous tribes and is now being used by some to treat serious health issues like depression. Critics argue that the push to make psilocybin available and legal is unsafe, calling it a very slippery slope. Could psychedelic mushrooms become as accessible as medical cannabis in the near future? If so, would you opt to trip or skip? So already some reactions from the audience. The question is, should magic mushrooms be legal? On one side of this medical debate is psycho-pharmacologist Dr. Benjamin Malcom. On the other side is board-certified clinical psychologist and chemical dependency specialist Dr. Marcum. And Ben, I want to start with you. You study psychedelics and you actually say that they should be legal.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Travis. And I think to understand why they should be legal, we need to look at the definition of what an illegal substance is. In the United States, it's supposed to be a substance with a high risk of abuse and addiction and no medical value. And plainly, neither of these things are true about psilocybin or psilocybin-containing mushrooms. Magic mushrooms do not have craving, meaning that you're not going to find yourself compulsively wanting to use them. They don't have a physical dependence. They don't have a psychological dependence. They don't have a withdrawal syndrome. And the tolerance is actually so rapid and so fast that even if you wanted to use them day after day, you couldn't because they would cease to have an effect. So from the perspective of addiction, there's just absolutely no evidence supporting that psilocybin or psilocybin mushrooms are addictive and that they need to be regulated alongside drugs that we know are highly addictive like heroin and crack cocaine. Kind of switching to the medical piece of it now, we are incredibly excited in the field of mental health for psilocybin-assisted psychotherapy. There are 3 rigorous clinical studies now for anxiety and depression and life-threatening illness. So these are people that have stage 3, stage 4 progressive cancers. And you can understand just how difficult of an emotional situation it is when you have one of these diagnoses and you're staring down the end of your own life. In these studies, it seems that 50 to 80% of the people that are treated no longer have clinical symptoms of anxiety and depression with as little as 1 treatment. We're also extremely excited about treatment-resistant depression, meaning depression that's failed the first-line standard antidepressant therapies, as well as tobacco use disorder or quitting cigarettes, alcoholism or alcohol use disorder, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. So when you zoom out and take a big bird's-eye picture of psilocybin and magic mushrooms, what you see is a drug with no addictive potential, a high therapeutic value, and it's absolutely insane that we continue keeping them an illegal drug, and we have to move towards legalization.
So clearly, Ben, you're passionate about legalizing it. Megan, you disagree. Tell us why.
I absolutely disagree. To say that they're safe and there's a ton of medical value is just absolutely not true. It's why it's a Scheduled 1 medication right now, just like heroin. We don't have a lot of medical value. We're still in the infancy of research. Secondly, I think it's really important to look at the fact that it can be psychologically addicting. I work in a treatment facility where we treat clients who have alcohol and other substance use disorders, and they have told me that magic mushrooms is my drug of choice. And so when they get to inpatient treatment, to rehab, it's basically because they are not functioning anymore, they can't go to school, they have a lot of problems with, their social environment, their families, and there is that piece that is feeling good to them when they take magic mushrooms. There's a piece that, there's a spiritual awakening, there's a euphoric effect, but people will absolutely go after that over and over. And if shrooms don't work the next day, then they're gonna go to something else. They can go to something stronger. So it's, incredibly risky and very dangerous to say that it's safe and that it's not addictive. It's just not true.
I want us to be really responsible here because Dr. Benjamin, clearly you know this area, you like this area, you are passionate about this area, like Dr. Travis said, but when you were citing the research, what is that research? Were there control groups? How many people were in the sample? Some of the things that you were saying in terms of the symptoms, saying that anxiety goes away after 1 type of use of this magic mushrooms, I think is really overstating and oversimplifying somebody who actually has mental health conditions.